The first thing you should try to stop tinnitus. It's a complete rip-off. Okay, there's been a few videos, welcome by the way, there's been a few videos recently from some other channels looking at what the first thing you should try to stop tinnitus. And after watching them all, I see it's the same old story. The real purpose is not to generally inform you, in my opinion this is, but to sell you an overpriced option to make money from your tinnitus problem. Okay, now don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with people or businesses making money. In fact, for business it's essential. They have to. We all have to somehow, but I still feel uncomfortable with the situations being presented to purely sell something, especially if it's not the right option. In this video, I'm going to go over the options out there that can help tinnitus sufferers. In all, there are 8 options. There's probably others, but these are the main ones. The method in the other videos I've seen, I'm not saying it's a bad method they are selling at all. No, I'm not saying sound therapy isn't a good option, but should it be the first one? Well, not when it's priced at normally $3,450. Now it's only $2,750 because the sale ends Friday. So have they gone up now? I would imagine no, it's all BS. We know that, don't we? So, if sound therapy was the first thing to try, it certainly wouldn't be the $3,000 option versions. So, there's lots of free options to try. First, have a look in the description for my free versions, as well as the 3 options to try out for your tinnitus. So with that said, what should be the first thing you try if you have tinnitus? First, here's the list of the usual ways to alleviate the presence of tinnitus. And we're going to go through all these. Tinnitus Retraining Therapy, Cognitive Behavioural Therapy for Tinnitus, Hypnosis, Sound Therapy, Natural Herbal Remedies or Supplements for Tinnitus, Acupuncture, Hearing Aids, YouTube videos of techniques to stop tinnitus. Okay, let's think about this for a moment though. What is the biggest cause of tinnitus? Which will lead you to the best solution straight away? Well, 90% of those with tinnitus have hearing loss. So the first port of call has to be to have your hearing tested. And you'll probably find that there's a frequency range that you're not picking up. It's missing in the sound you're hearing. So this is when your brain auditory system, in the confusion, creates a sound possibly as a way of compensation or certainly to fill that gap. It's still not fully known, but it's creating your tinnitus sounds. That's the most important thing. Okay, so have your hearing tested. If there's a reduction in your hearing, then hearing aids are probably needed anyway. It may well be that when you get the hearing aids, the tinnitus is reduced to a level that is livable or acceptable because you will hear the missing frequencies in many cases. It's not always guaranteed, but you will be needing those hearing aids anyway. And on hearing aids, you don't need to be paying thousands and thousands for them. There's very little between them, but around $1,000 usually, 1,000 to 2,000 maximum. Now, let's make an assumption that the hearing is not the problem, although it's a small number of tinnitus sufferers that don't have hearing problems. So let's have a look at the other options out there. YouTube videos, first of all, of techniques to stop tinnitus. They may well give some relief, but in all fairness, they're likely to be a permanent solution. Even though I feature some of these techniques myself in videos, because they can be a way, or at the very least a support, as part of your overall tinnitus control. Next, and this is excluding hearing aids as an option by the way, it's really the number 1 option for the majority of tinnitus sufferers, but we have next on the treatment list, ways to deal with your tinnitus, acupuncture. It could work. And there is some success, but even though I'm a natural therapist, I would not say it's one of the first things to try, mainly based on cost. I'd also put hypnotherapy here as well, even though this is my own area as a natural therapist. Come to me after I'm cheaper as well than $3,000 dollars sound therapy inserts. Okay, natural herbal remedies or supplements for tinnitus. They get a lot of bad press, and I think it comes from certain areas, but I'll mention this a bit later. Well, they can work. Again, a lot depends on your level of tinnitus and the type of supplements. They usually include the ginkgo biloba, some overhyped pure sales supplements that are mainly full of crap just to make money. There are some that I feel are reasonable in terms of cost though and help in the solution. They're not magic pills, take one and it's gone, but can help as part of your overall tinnitus strategy management. So, before anyone says that there is very little research on these herbs and medicines, you're right, and then ask why. Do you think the big pharmaceuticals who fund most medical research are interested in you being able to buy a $50 supplement? Exactly. Okay, next we have tinnitus retraining therapy. Now again, this can work and does for some, but have a look at the costs. I did a recent video, have a look at that, going over the various costs of tinnitus treatments. And this is crazy. If you have lots of money, then yes, it could be a solution. Would it be the first option? No way. My opinion, I feel it's almost a created selling method term, this tinnitus retraining therapy. But that's only my opinion. Okay, next we have cognitive behavioral therapy for tinnitus. Again, the cost for this treatment, I mean, it's staggering. If you look in that video, although it will work for some, but not all, it's definitely not the first one to try for your tinnitus. I feel like hypnosis, it can work going down the mind route, and the buzzword they all seem to like using is habituation. Habituation, it's used a lot, and a lot of these technical terms are used in healthcare generally, especially when they are charging you. It's a psychological way of manipulation. I have to add, in my opinion, you see, if someone doesn't fully understand something, they feel a bit reluctant, even silly to ask. So they take the words from the health professional as they must know everything. They do not. And you should question them constantly about your health. I do with my own doctor. I've changed from the previous one who didn't like me asking a question. In the UK, most healthcare is free. Most, for now anyway. But in America and many other places, you pay whether through insurance or cash if you've no health insurance. By the way, if you know health insurance, why would you do that? I'm not selling insurance, by the way, but really you do need health insurance. Okay, off in a tangent a little bit, as usual, but on cognitive behavioural therapy, it's probably last or in the bottom two to try for tinnitus solutions. Next we have, well, it's sound therapy. And believe it or not, after all I've said, it's probably one of the first things to try. Now here's the thing, there are too many free options everywhere. I've got some in the description. One is combining with a breathing technique, and it works for everyone I've given it to. See below and try, it may work, and it's free. You certainly do not need a $3,000 solution for sound therapy. Last one, and the first one to try, it's what I said earlier, a hearing test and hearing aids. If you need them, now you'll find in the majority of cases that this will drastically reduce your tinnitus sounds. However, when you go to sleep and take your hearing aids out, I know from experience this can be one of the worst times for tinnitus sounds to come in, at the highest level that is as well. Now this is when the alternatives are needed. Now the breathing technique combined with the sound will help that I have. You go to sleep and you deal with the tinnitus sounds. It really does work, but it needs practice, but it will work if you keep trying. Now, before I go, now I'm sorry I don't have a sale on that ends soon or anything like that, but I do have a new website that features many other ways to help you tinnitus, more ways than the YouTube channel features. So have a look, and there's also a glossary and commonly asked questions section of terms used and the questions you didn't ask because you felt a bit stupid to do so. There's no such thing as a stupid question, by the way. It's just a question. So on that, I hope you have enjoyed the video. I'll wish you all good health. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.